Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, and this is version 0.21.1 and today we are going to fly this spaceplane, single stage to orbit plane to orbit. We built this plane in previous video, part 1 of this tutorial, and now we are going to see how it flies. Okay, so I'm going to check how much this thing weighs. It's 7.3 tons. It's not the lightest plane, but it's not terribly heavy. Alright, I think we are good to go. I'm going to stage with the space bar and then disable the rocket engines with the action key. We set up and throttle up halfway or so. Should be enough to take us in the air. If we start it, okay, now we are moving 40 meters per second takeoff speed. It's okay. I'm going to enable the SAS, new SAS in this version, and let's see how this plane flies. So far so good. It turns nicely. It's not too fast, but then again it's not an air racer or anything like that. This is supposed to be a space plane, and it has a lot of wings. It can glide pretty well, I think, even when low on fuel or out of fuel. We set up the center of mass so that the center of lift will be behind the center of mass at all times, and so the plane won't become unstable. Okay, now we are going to head up, throttle up almost to full, and let's see if this plane can climb. Yeah, it's great. We have action groups, 3 different action groups. One for toggling the turbojet engine here, one to toggle the rocket engines, and one action group set up for closing the intakes when we don't need them anymore, so they won't cause unnecessary drag high up in the air where we've run out of air but still are in the atmosphere. We want to close those intakes, so I have an action group set up for that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to climb up to 20 kilometers or so and level the plane there and start gathering speed. What we want to get is about 2000 meters per second at 30 kilometers, 35 kilometers or so. If we can manage that, then we definitely are going into space. We have 8 intakes for this one turbojet engine, so we can fly really high, really fast. I'm pretty sure that we can manage to achieve that 2000 meters higher up in the atmosphere. Okay, 19, almost 20 kilometers, and we are leveling now. I'm going to go full throttle now. The plane is accelerating fast. And the faster we go, the more air will be pushed into the air intakes, and the more air we get into the intakes, the higher we can go, and the higher we can go, the faster we can go. So it's a cycle cycle of and I'm admiring the entry effect, the shock heating effects on the plane. It looks nice. Always nice, great to have the effects on the plane. Okay, 1500 meters per second, 23 kilometers altitude. We are accelerating and climbing as expected. We have plenty of fuel left, and the oxidizer is everything is still intact in the tanks. We haven't used our rocket engines yet, and I think that we don't need to use a rocket engine in the atmosphere at all. I think we are going to gather so much speed that we will fly out of the atmosphere on the jet engine alone. If we can manage apoapsis in around 100 kilometers or so, that would be great. If not, we can still manage just fine. We have those two tanks, FLT 200 fuel tanks for the rocket engines. Two of those small Rockomax radial engines. Those aren't so very powerful, but the plane isn't heavy, and we are not moving and accelerating a great mass. We are just nudging the plane ahead a little bit. The heavy lifting is done with the turbojet engine. It is still working great. We are 31 kilometers up, but now we are slowly losing intake air. I'm going to start throttling back to prevent flameouts. We have a flameout now. It doesn't really matter because we have one engine in the middle, so a flameout won't put us in a asymmetrical spin or flat spin, anything like that. We just lose some speed, and when we throttle back, refire the engine, we can get that speed back, no problem, and keep on going. With two jet engines, 4, 6 or anything like that, a flameout can be catastrophical, because when one engine flames out and the rest of the engines keep on pushing the plane, the center of thrust will be off center, and so the plane will spin. But with this setup, we don't have to worry about flame out too much. Okay, we are 44 kilometers high. That's nice. We are definitely going into space now. The engine, turbojet engine, is still producing some thrust, not a lot, but some. We are losing speed. Actually, I'm going to shut down the engine, close the intakes, and we will see how high we got. Our apoapsis 78 kilometers, and we are 50 kilometers high. That's enough. We will go to space. Space starts at 70 kilometers, and I think we can manage that. If it looks like the atmosphere slows us down so much that the apoapsis comes down below 70 or close to 70 kilometers, then we can just use our rocket engines for a second or two to push the apoapsis back up. But we will monitor this and do what we have to do to maintain the apoapsis above the atmosphere. We are at 57-58 kilometers high, so atmosphere is really thin at this altitude, so it's not slowing us down too badly anymore. The apoapsis is coming down, but it's coming down slowly, and we don't need to worry about that anymore. We can admire the view for a second. I really like the new mountains that came with the 0.21 version. There's even snow on top of those mountains. Also there in the horizon. Oh, this game is really pretty. It's really nice. Okay, 66 kilometers. We are almost out of the atmosphere. The last few seconds I'm going to accelerate time 3 times, please, like so. Okay, we are out of the atmosphere. There's the space music. I'm going to use the action key to turn on the rocket engines, and now we are going to accelerate time until we are at the apoapsis, where we are going to burn prograde and to make an actual orbit, a stable orbit. I'm not going to bother with a maneuver node. This is pretty simple, straightforward. We just burn prograde, and while we are burning we can see the periapsis going up, and we can stop burning when we achieve orbit. 50, 60, 70, like so. 73, 78. That's good enough. We are officially in space. We have plenty of fuel left. What we can do here is let's see if we can fly to moon. We won't be able to land because this plane isn't suitable for landing on the moon, but we can certainly fly by it, and at least we can try. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to drain the jet fuel a bit to lighten the plane. We have too much jet fuel on board, so I'm going to disable the flow of the oxidizer that we don't accidentally burn our rocket fuel, and I'm going to throttle up. This should burn the jet fuel, but not the oxidizer, and so we won't get any thrust, but we can burn the fuel like so. What we are looking for, actually, let's see, we had 110 oxidizer, 90 liquid fuel, so the ratio is 9 to 11, so we want 180 units of liquid fuel, so then we are using only the exact amount of. I'm going to not going to burn all of my jet fuel because we will need some fuel for landing, I guess. Maybe don't want to glide all the way in, or maybe we are above the ocean when we re-enter the atmosphere or something like that, so I'm going to maybe stop at 180 or so. 180 would be if we had full tank of oxidizer, then this would be exact amount of jet fuel, but now we have burned 20 units of oxidizer already, so this means that we still have some jet fuel after the oxidizer has run out. Okay, now make sure the throttle is cut with X key, and then re-enable the fuel flow on the oxidizer. I'm going to target the moon and try to make a maneuver node. We are a little bit inclined, but not too badly. I'm going to see the maybe there. Let's see. There's a lunar slingshot out of the Kerbal system, but maybe we don't want that. Okay, let's see if we can pull this burn off. It's estimated burn is 2 days. This might not be correct. $867 delta V. Maybe it's, I don't know. We could update the information to calculate the estimated burn by doing a quick burn, but that would mess up our orbit a bit. I don't want to do that. I'm going to just estimate that burn is 2 minutes 2 minutes long, so I'm going to start burning at -1 minute to node, so that we will burn 1 minute before and 1 minute after the node. So that's equal. Line up with the maneuver node indicator here on the nav ball and 1 minute burn. Okay, now updated. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds or so. That's close enough because we can we can make small minor corrections on the fly. Actually, we really don't need this maneuver node at all, but I have this for timing purposes. We are burning prograde. Since we started burning a little bit before our periapsis and we were burning below the horizon line, we lost some altitude, but now we've gone past the periapsis. Now we are gaining altitude again. We didn't go inside the atmosphere. That would cause problems, so you need to pay attention that you are always outside of the atmosphere when doing burns. These small rockets aren't too powerful, but they are powerful enough to push us out to lunar orbit easily with 2 minute burn, but with ion engines or nuclear engines, they are weaker. They can be weaker, and the burns can be much longer. So if you need to start burning right about here, you need to make sure that you don't hit the atmosphere. So I've got the engines, and now I'm going to slowly burn. See if we can get a really close encounter with the moon. Okay, now we have it, but this would slingshot us out of the atmosphere. Excuse me, out of the Kerbal sphere of influence into the solar orbit. Maybe we don't want that, so I'm going to just burn, see if we can get that. Okay, let's see if we have. I think that we will crash into the moon if we. Let's see if we can not die today. Today is not a good day to die. We have Jebediah flying the plane, and I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill anyone, but especially not Jebediah. Oop. 48 kilometers. Okay, let's see. Oh, actually I can see if we can do a correction burn here at the descending node. If we do our inclination burn here, then we won't use 15 delta V. That's really really nothing. Going to see if I can find the maneuver. There it is. Okay, and accelerate time until the node, maneuver node. It's a 1 second burn. Ooh, missed it already, but I guess we can still make it. There. That's good, and now we have 40 kilometers. I'm going to see if we can. What happens if I can I pull the periapsis down? Well, maybe we can do that when we are inside this sphere of influence of the moon. Let's take a last look of our home planet. When we fly away. We will be coming back shortly. We just going to zoom past the moon and come back. Going to accelerate time again. What we don't want to do is cross this border, the sphere of influence switch. With time acceleration, it will mess up the orbit. The calculations will be incorrect when we are in time warp. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lose the time warp right about now and just slowly, easily switch the sphere of influence. 39.208 periapsis indicated now, and it's almost the same, 39.170 or so. Okay, going to bring our periapsis down a bit. 24, 13, 4.7. That should give us a good look of the new surface of the moon. We still have fuel left. I think that's enough to make it back home. I think we won't be able to pick our landing spot if we happen to land near close the space center. That's great, but it's going to be just pure luck. Again, estimated burn is nothing, so but it's 7.5 meters per second delta V, so it's probably 0 seconds, 1 second. And again, this isn't too exact. I can get rid of the maneuver node and just burn, so I can more easily see the periapsis going down and pick 5 kilometers. We're going to burn here at the lunar periapsis. Prograde. Bring our curving periapsis down into the atmosphere. So we get back home 55 kilometers. That should at least slow us down, so that next orbit we get lower and lower and lower. Alright. Align with the maneuver node. And then we can enjoy the view. I'm going to accelerate time to... Oh, are we going to be on the dark side of the moon? Oh well. Put on the lights. Maybe we can... God damn it, there are so many craters. That's going to be hard to find a suitable landing spot there. There are really many craters. Okay, we are really low. How 5 kilometers periapsis. I'm a little bit worried that I don't know how high the peaks are on the surface now, but I guess we find out soon. It looks like we are close to surface. I'm going to turn it, the plane. Let's lower our landing gear. We won't be able to land, of course, but it doesn't hurt either. Okay, I need to start burning here. Almost, but not quite. We are out of oxidizer, so let's disable the rocket engine. And now we are going up. I think we made it alive this time. I'm just not sure if we can make it back home, but we'll see about that. You can almost see the surface of the moon. I should plan these lunar encounters better, so we could do this on the light side, but Well, oh, there's Kerbal. Let's see where we'll end up. I'm going to get rid of this maneuver node and not enough. Not enough. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. We have one little trick left. We will have to get out and push. It sounds ridiculous, but well, there's some trust in those EVA packs that the Kerbals have, so Jebediah has to do some manual labor. Let go of the ladder and lights on. I made sure that the plane was pointing retrograde, so if I push here in the back, it is the same as if I was burning retrograde. So let's see how much we can bring the periapsis down. We need to make sure that we can get back into the cockpit. We can do this many times because the jetpack fuel is always filled up when the Kerbal enters the cockpit. So there's infinite amount of jetpack fuel in the cockpit. I'm going to try and make this. Just push. 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 %. Okay, you can stop spinning now. I don't know what happened there. Jebediah had some sort of attack. Okay, another great big push. Uh, 60%. Trying to push a little lower this time. Maybe try to turn the nose of the plane back up. No. I wonder if we can check our 160. We lost 30 kilometers on our periaps. This is going great. Alright, keep on pushing. Maybe try to push there. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to have to... we have 37% jetpack fuel left, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back inside the cockpit and see where we are going and check if we can still make another push. We want to be pushing only at the apoapsis of our orbit. For maximum effect. Okay, we're back inside, so let's see, 159. We can definitely make this. Okay, let's see. 40 kilometers, okay. Okay, let's see the 16 hours to periapsis. Kerbal rotates once in 6 hours, so that means it will be doing 2.5 rotations in the time we get. Let's see what happens. Accelerate time and I have to make sure that we don't go past the planet with too much time acceleration. It will fly just through the planet if it gets in the way with high time acceleration. The physics fly right out of the window, and it can and will fly through the planet or anything like that. So I'm going to decrease the time acceleration when we get closer and closer. Okay, we have almost 9 units of liquid fuel for our jet engine. I'm going to activate the engine, open up the intakes with the action keys, and let's see if it's enough to slow us down and get a capture air brake into capture. Oh, this is the crater. actual mountains there on the edge of the crater now. It looks nice. We already have 0.01 intake air, but I don't want to activate my engine. I'm not even sure that well, the apoapse is coming down rather fast. But we'll see if we can, if it gets down enough so that we won't have to go around the planet one more time. If we do, it's not a problem. We have this generator here to provide us with electricity, and we have, well, we can maintain ourselves indefinitely. Okay, maybe we do have to go one more lap. 100, it's coming down slowly, but I think that this time we don't have to go around the planet anymore. 75 kilometers. What we want is below 70, then we will stay in the atmosphere and don't go out of it again. There's 69. Okay. What I really would like to see on the game is that we should get more readings on everything right here. Heads-up display or something like that. This nav ball and altimeter, and the vertical speed indicator is great and all, but I would like to see more information. It would be nice if we had radar altimeter here, and maybe apoapsis and periapsis, so we wouldn't have to switch between the map mode and this mode back and forth and so on. But you can get all that information from mods. MechChep, for example, is great for having all that information. But I don't have MechChep on this plane. This is all stock parts. Alright, we need to decide where we want to. Maybe on the sand there. Okay, we are pretty low. I can see the light from the landing gear. It's good to have. It helps with the landing a lot. This is pretty smooth. Put on the brakes. No. We are going fast. Well, we were going fast, not anymore. circle. Just don't crash the wingtips. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, that's down and we have landed. The plane flew very well, even with empty tanks, or almost empty tanks. The center of mass has moved back right about here, but since we have our center of lift behind this point that we set up for ourselves, the center of lift is here, so we don't have any problems with the fuel draining from the tanks or anything like that. Okay, let's get Jebediah out of the cockpit, and first we want to see the highest altitude, highest speed. We went a long way, of course. 1 day, 22 hours. 22.5 hours. Graceful, as always. There. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something. If you haven't checked out the first part where we built this plane, make sure to watch that video also. Maybe leave a comment, like and subscribe if you liked what you saw. Okay, thank you, bye bye.